Hi, everyone. I'm Natalie Nixon. I am the president of Figure Eight Thinking, and I'm a creativity strategist. I'm also the author of this book, The Creativity Leap. And I've been having a series of conversations with really cool people just to share their thoughts and ideas about the ways that creativity has been showing up in their work and their life. And today, I'm really happy to be joined all the way from Tuscany, Italy, Mirko Lagattolla. I think I mispronounced your name. Say it correctly for me, Mirko.
No worries. It's Mirko Lagattolla. Thanks
Mirko
for
Lagat. Sorry,
thank-
Mirko Lagattolla, who is responsible for deploying agile organizations within the Beyond Beer unit, business unit at ABInBev, which you also may know as Anheuser-Busch. And
correct.
Mirko, welcome. It's so good to see you.
Good. Thanks for having me. I think I just started to read the book. It's great because this actually is going to inspire me more and more in my role, which in the end of the day is about how do we unleash curiosity in the people in the day-to-day work, even in a corporate environment. How do we come up with the question of the what if, right? So, and that is going to be a big piece of my role. And I think in the end of the day, we want to create an environment where people are free to come up with idea, ready to test them, experimented, and not be biased by what actually people assume is the reality.
That's awesome. And that's sometimes easier to say than to
Yeah,
do, right?
correct. That's exactly right.
Yeah, like to get people really comfortable being experimental. For those of us who work in the innovation creativity space, it makes sense. We try to practice it and practice what we preach, but sometimes people get, a little slap if they are experimental, right?
Yes, that's definitely the case. And I think my, humble advice is really trying to get that smaller experiment for your stakeholders and the people you work with to say, why don't we just try? I mean, we don't need to spend a lot of money, we don't need to spend a lot of time. We can have a 1 week period and just try something. And I
I
think
love that.
today's technology allows you to do that. And then if data tells you that they were right, we have a further confirmation. But if data tells you that actually it's the other way around, then probably we need to rethink and re-amplify what we wanted to deploy.
So in the end, no harm. We still are
No.
discovering something. Yeah, yeah, awesome.
Exactly.
So my first question for you is, would you share a story about a time when you've made a creativity leap? You can share about something personal or something more professionally related.
I think I can share with you an example on what I just said. In one of the brand that we were launching in UK. Can you stop here? Can I ask you a
Uh,
question?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bria,
Can
we're
I
gonna pause here. I
okay,
think
can can I say the name of the brand or not?
it's up to you. I think you can.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it's okay with them, yeah. Is it something that you?
No, it's already live and people can go and
Okay.
buy. So I just want to know if then people are gonna be like, oh, it was doing advertising. You know what I mean?
Oh, this is just going on my YouTube channel, and I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna restart.
Okay.
So yeah, one example that I can give is really in one of the brands that we launched in UK. It's the Mike's Hard Seltzer. We wanted to understand how we could improve the repurchase rate of people coming to our website. And so, we asked to the team, like, what are some of the ideas, some of the things that you've seen may work that we can try it out? And one of the things was implement a subscription model, which people may think that for, a drink, it's something not very usual and nobody will do that. And so that's exactly what we did. So the team came up and said, okay, we can do this in a matter of a week. We can test. If we start getting people subscribing to it, then we validate our hypothesis. Long story short, the first day we implemented, we got people subscribed to it. And now it's one of our major places where actually people come and subscribe to. So
That's
again,
awesome. And the beginning when it was first suggested, were there doubters? Or there was people who,
Doubters.
yeah.
Yeah, there were doubters, and people usually not don't do that. But I think if you put the stakeholders and everybody in the team, sometimes it's also your peers and saying, why don't we just try? There's no
Yes.
harm. The worst that could happen is that we get 0 orders in. That's the worst that could happen, right?
Right, right. And you look at a company like Amazon, I initially, when I started to see the options for subscription to, I don't know, laundry detergent, which is something you're going to have to keep using, I thought, but they put in the nice little 5% discounts,
Exactly. That's exactly
right?
what we did.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's like, okay, let me try. And it's like you can cancel at any time. So yeah, there's also great examples that we can borrow from totally under other industries, which is, I think, is also a great example of lateral thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly what the team actually used without even knowing that they were using that, right? So the team actually used every day Amazon, and then probably somebody in their mind came up with, why don't we just do that?
Nice,
And then it
nice.
worked.
So speaking of leaps to just try things, who for you, living or dead, is an example of a wonder mentor for you?
Okay, so for me, it would be Elon Musk.
Okay. And why?
And the reason why is that I look at Elon Musk as really the go-to person, the role model of someone that asks the what if question. He doesn't get scared,
Very
right?
true.
So what if we get to Mars by 2025, right? So it's like, maybe we can. And then he starts to build on top of it. So I really love, I mean, it's really inspirational for me. I love one of his quote that says, if somebody has never done it, it doesn't mean that it's impossible.
Yes.
So that's really inspiring for me.
I also like to use Elon Musk as an example, and sometimes in my talks of someone who pushed the limits to ask different questions. What if we could, what if we could refuel a car through electricity instead of through petrol?
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
people laughed at him, and other people said, let's tell me more. So yeah, great example.
Exactly. What if a shuttle actually comes back and it's not all
Yes,
broken?
yes, totally, totally. So then, who for you is an example of a rigor mentor, living or dead?
Well, I'd say the same person. You
Okay.
know, he's put a goal in front of him and he just nails it.
Mm,
He's one of those few people that is very disciplined on time management, disciplined on achieving results, disciplined on actually showing the world what has been achieved in the time frame that he put in front of himself. And I think he's definitely one of the few people that I look at when I want to explain the real purpose of showing value to customers. Right. I love when he actually present his sprint reviews of the
yeah.
Cybertruck.
Yes.
It's very simple. If it breaks, it's probably not good. If it doesn't, it's good. Go ahead.
Right. Right.
So he's my mentor, I would say, from both sides of your questions.
Well, I think that often happens. One of my mentors for Wonder and Rigor is also the same person. I have many, but one who is similar to you, if it's both, is Twyla Tharp, the modern dancer choreographer. She is so disciplined and has process that she follows rigorously, but that also helps her for the spark and
Yeah,
and to branch out to new realms to explore in her art. So yeah, that often happens. Wonder and rigor can be the same sides, two different sides of the same coin.
actually, what you just mentioned, I was having a very interesting conversation internally in AB with one of the senior leader, and he mentioned to me that that's going to be the future of great leaders in the company.
What?
The people that actually can combine the wonder and the rigor.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Awesome.
that's
I
a,
would love to talk to him. Let's make that happen.
We'll make that happen.
You know, Mirko, I just want to mention for anyone who is tuning in, you and I met some years ago. We met all the way back in, I think it was 2015. It was 5 years ago now.
2015, correct.
Right? We met
Yeah.
in Nice.
Yeah.
And what I always appreciated about you at the time, I was serving as like a mentor, guest keynote speaker for this European Innovation Academy. And you stood out because you and your teammates, because you kind of didn't fit the mold of a lot of the other participants. You were a little more seasoned. You weren't, still in school, and you were so enthusiastic. I remember you invited me for one of your prototypes. Remember, it was the meal
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. Yes.
And I came to test out the idea and everything.
The experience,
and so, the experience with food and connecting strangers. So I'm so proud of you and happy for you in terms of where you are now and how you are manifesting your ideas and your work. So congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, congratulations to you as well. I think this book is gonna do great. And actually, thanks for sending me. I'm gonna propose this to the person that I just mentioned.
Thank you.
Leader.
I
I think
appreciate
he's
that.
gonna love it.
Thank you so much. Well, Mirko, do you have any final thoughts that you want to leave with us?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's just reinforcing what I said at the very beginning. I think oftentimes, and especially, having had the pleasure and the honor to have worked both in corporates and in the startups, I think if some of the people that are watching work in a corporate, and you have that feeling of being an entrepreneur, try that. Just make sure that with your stakeholders, you just say, why don't we just try this? What if we do this for a limited amount of time, for a limited amount of money, and see if it works? Because sometime in that small idea can actually be the next big thing of the company, in my view.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank you for leaving that encouragement and that advice. And it's great to see you. And thank you for spending some time all the way from beautiful Tuscany. I'm in Philly, so hot summer
Thank you
days.
very much. Yeah, have a great weekend.